President George Washington. Monsieur Johann van Vulner. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. Let's have a look at his personal papers. Of course, it's in Latin, the language of the church. Damn it. I should have followed my mother's advice and spent more time studying the classics. The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself. Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure? I think this statue does represent Longinus, armed with a lance that wounded Jesus, the Holy Lance. How can I find out if this is an exact representation? There's no way of being certain of it. Longinus is holding the Holy Lance in his left hand, and I'll bet he's holding the sponge soaked in holy blood in the other hand. Yes! Here we can see that the Holy Lance is represented in the shape of a spear. I better make sure I check this twice. It's a work that dates from the Renaissance. And there's nothing to say that it's not based on erroneous elements. But I believe what I read in the letter from Milan addressed to Mortimer. There's every reason to believe that this painting has been modified according to his guidelines to represent the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape. There's only one way of being sure. I'll have to find other clues that will confirm this information. Adoration of the Shepherds with Saints Longinus and John, Giulio Romano, 1534. The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The four Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance. There's nothing about the lance in this account of the crucifixion. There's no mention of the lance in what Luke says about the death of Christ. This apostle does not mention the lance in his description of the death of Christ. Ah, there.
When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true. And he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
The medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. This sarcophagus is engraved with the name of Clemens III. Good God! The one whose cross allowed me to enter. This sarcophagus is beautifully made, but ancient. Stone is marked by the passage of time, but it's really well preserved. I can see that this spear has a so-called leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. I can see the tip is engraved with the symbol of the Eye of Ra. I must be sure of my choice. I can't get it wrong. Am I sure this is the one to take? The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer. Let's see what we can find here. It's far too heavy. I'm not going to be able to do it on my own. I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't think on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
I've been in the crypt of the manor.
What the hell were you doing there?
I was visiting and got lost.
I do believe that is the worst lie anyone has ever told me. You are not even qualified to be here among us. You leave me no choice. Come with me. Mais qu'est-ce... What is this?
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you. Excuse me, monsieur. Lord Mortimer is asking for you. Come closer, Louis. Excuse me, monsieur. We cannot let you pass. Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat. I wanted you... Oh no, your hand! Damn it, no! So that's it. She's prepared to use you.
What do you mean?
It wasn't enough for her to lose her hand. She had to make you lose yours too. I cannot permit this to continue. Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons.
And it's true.
She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1 million of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
And how is it you help men exactly?
Let's just say that without us, man would probably never have left his cave. Fire, the wheel, tools, writing. We are the spark that inspires man to search, to grow, to evolve.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my true nature to her.
What happened next?
She felt betrayed and manipulated, tricked. We had an argument. She rejected me, and then she simply disappeared. Just after that, she joined the Order and began to relentlessly hunt us down.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that. Don't worry.
How would you qualify your species, scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
I would say biology.
So, I would class demons along with parasites.
The comparison's not very flattering. You live inside a host and you feed on that host. Do you not?
A large number of parasites are essential to the survival of their bearer, you know. We do indeed choose a host, we enter inside them, and we evolve with them. But if you prefer a more philosophical approach, or a more poetical one, consider us as an idea. We are an idea that penetrates the human spirit. But in fact, in no way are we a danger for our hosts. Quite the contrary, we strengthen them.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
You controlled her so she would commit suicide. I knew it.
I know you did. Moreover, you impressed me. You really did sense what had happened, but you couldn't quite explain how. A good job, too, because for a moment I was afraid you would prove the theory right in front of Gregory.
But why?
Well, she was my father's eyes and ears, and Gregory took a malicious delight in walking her all over the manor to spy on me. He would be furious if he knew I had prevented father from being able to check up on what was happening here.
So, von Borchert, he was looking for the Al-Azif for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection and pleasure you can. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
I mean, it's obvious you want me on your side, but that doesn't explain why you're telling me all these truths.
Louis, this conference is indeed of capital importance to me. And yes, I want you on my side. But that's not the main reason that compels me to confide in you.
What is it then?
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body, without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no. No, it's not possible.
You are my son. Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.